3HL 104.5 The Zone, broadcasting live from SEC Media Days in Dallas. And you've got Brett Doherty, you've got Don Davenport, you've got Ronald Sylvester Slay. There I go with the full name again.
You like that?
Yeah, because I got your guy right here. Yeah. Roman Harper joins us from the SEC Network. Roman, what's up, man? How are you?
What's up, man? Thank you guys for having me.
So Alabama's a basketball school. We're going to start there?
No doubt about it. We are a basketball school. Y'all saw us last year. And don't even talk about what we got this year. Don't even talk about it yet.
Y'all backloaded, man.
How you get a point guard to come back like that?
Because
pay him. Sorry.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
That's an Auburn grad.
Why not?
You know what it is.
Why not?
Man, that kid.
You know I had to throw that.
That kid can play, even if you don't like Alabama, whatever. Like, watch this kid's game and respect it, because that kid can get on anywhere on the floor he wants to get.
I love Sears because I love his story. You know, he wasn't a great shooter when he got there, and he talked about how many shots he did all off season, like, you know, making however many thousands of shots, and that's just work. And that's what it really takes. And then at the end of the day, and I was talking to Slay about this yesterday, is like tournament time, there's no better position to have than a point guard.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you got a point guard that can score and lead, and he can go get a bucket for you whenever you want, because point guards don't get in foul trouble like big guys do.
No, they don't.
Big guys, they get in foul trouble. It's like it mess up the whole tournament because they get in foul trouble.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, I ain't do no fouling. I shot a lot.
Did you ever foul out of a game?
I can't remember if I did.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I got you. Well, while we're talking about Alabama, Nick Saban not in the conference anymore.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
he's on your side of things now.
I mean, how fast the times come or change, because he couldn't even get in here without a credential yesterday. So
which is so hilarious.
It's crazy.
Because you know that fired him up.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Don't you know who I am?
I want to talk to the person that
He's
stopped
been
him.
that guy for 30 years. He's like, I've been to this media thing all these years with LSU and 17 with Alabama.
Yeah.
In the first year I'm not a coach, you guys are like questioning me like about a lanyard. Come on, dog.
Who are you?
How involved is he still at Alabama with that football program? With what's going on?
I think he's pretty hands off, actually. I don't think he's around that much. I think he's golfing too good to be around that much. I heard he shot a 72 recently.
Oh,
what?
my Lord.
Yeah. So like,
that didn't take long.
He's.
Can he not be good at something?
No, I think when he goes in, he goes in. You guys know he's 100% in whatever he does. I think right now it's golf. I think he's pretty hands off, but I think he will show up and show face. He still puts an A on his chest when he goes out there and does some public appearances. He's doing a lot of speaking engagements. Maxon's got him pretty consistently busy. But I think right now it's Kalen DeBoer's time. I think Nick has done a good job of being around without being around and over the top. And that's I give DeBoer a lot of credit for being that open to that and being humble enough to say, dude, I would love to have you around.
Yeah.
And that you can only bring goodness to my program. And so, and how we're going to continue to go in the trajectory that I want to go. And you're seeing it right now. The one thing that everybody questioned with Kalen DeBoer was, could he come to Alabama and recruit in the South?
We talked about it on our show.
And all of
Everybody
a
in
sudden,
Tennessee.
yeah. And all of a sudden now you're like, hold on, he got what? Yeah. Hold on, he got what? And so you know he can coach. That's secondary. He's already answered that question everywhere he's been. And so now he's getting that part of it. So it'll be really, really interesting to see how Alabama continues to move forward if they continue to do what they're doing.
It's a well-oiled machine, though. It's not like he had to come in and build the foundation. I mean,
look, man, when I was there, we still had 12 national championships.
Yeah.
Like, still the most. I'm like,
still foundation.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm like, still had 12 national championships. It's not like Nick Saban just built this place from the ground up.
Yeah.
Yes, he evolved it, and yes, they have expanded tremendously, especially as far as, like, the money is concerned and what they're able to do on that campus, because the campus life is so different than when I was there, just because it used to be 65-35 in-state to out-of-state. Now it's 65-35 out-of-state to in-state. That is money right there as far as, like, just with what football has done, because everybody now, kids in high school, they all want to go to school that has good football.
Yeah.
Like, that's where their interests are. It's just so different when you look into the mind of a 17, 18-year-old kid and their decision that they're trying to make.
You get to watch these guys individually from a defensive perspective.
Yeah.
You heard about Dallas Turner, like these guys coming out, man, like he was the name last year. This year, the young man from LSU, Harold Perkins. Who do you like more? I'm going to put you on the spot. Harold Perkins or James Pierce Jr.?
James Pierce Jr.
Why?
Because he has the size and he has a true defined position.
Yeah.
And so if I'm an edge player, it's James Pierce Jr. It's not even close. He's 6'5", 250 something.
Yeah.
And dude is a problem off the edge, a real problem.
Yeah.
I think he's a top 5 pick, top 7 pick waiting to happen. Just depends, unless you have a run of quarterbacks and everything else it changes. You can't control where the draft puts you.
Like this year, but first defensive player.
Yes, he does have that type of potential. He's got to stay healthy and continue to eat like he did last year. Man, dude was amazing to watch. He was my favorite player to watch a couple weeks, and my player to watch, and I was correct on it every time I picked him. A couple times last year. But we'll have to see off that. Harold Perkins is a unique individual because he has so much athleticism and is so twitchy.
Yeah.
You got to – but LSU has to find a way to utilize this kid.
Yes, exactly.
And so that's the difference.
Small.
He is small. And so if you're going to be 6'2", 6'2.5", less than 6'3", like Micah Parsons, you got to have long levers, meaning arms.
Right.
And so I can come off the edge and still be effective because, Harold Perkins can be explosive, but, man, you don't get sacks in the NFL by running the corner.
No.
Everybody can – you got Trent Williams, bro. You ain't get by him.
Yeah.
And the moment he gets by his hands on you, it's over if you're 6 foot. Trust me, I've been that person.
Yeah.
All right? He had me on the sideline, and I was like, please let me go. Please.
open.
Please. All right? He had the dark visor. I didn't think he saw me, and he saw me. And the mouse was in the house, and he put me – I was like, please let me go. Please. And so – that is what will happen. I'm not trying to compare myself to Harold Perkins. But, man, when you're smaller like that, and it'll be interesting to see how Blake Baker uses him as an off-the-ball linebacker because he had the Hopper kid that transferred from Florida at Missouri, had like 6.5, 7 sacks by blitzing from the second level effectively. And so if you can find a way to do that with Harold Perkins and get him matched up on running backs or dictate the protection that you're getting and get him downhill on a running back or something or a tight end, you like that matchup versus a tackle. And so that's what they got to figure out because he's a very special player too.
LSU has to be better defensively,
right? I mean, it's easy to be better. I mean, me and you could go over there and they could be better. We could coach them up better. They were 113th in the country. They were atrocious last year. And so they got to be better. And I assume they will take a step forward, but I also assume that the offense will take a step back. You don't lose what they lost on offense and continue to just stay the same. They had Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas on the outside. Yes. These guys are difference makers. They're top 20 players in the draft. And then you got the quarterback, Jaden Daniels, who just carried that team at times, whether it was with his legs or his arm. You just don't lose that type of talent and all of a sudden say, no, we're still going to be good because our O-line's better. I'm like, yeah, but O-line doesn't carry the ball.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, and is your offensive coordinator consistent enough and humble enough to just turn around and hand the ball off 50 times? Because most offensive coordinators want to score points. And they want to, like, we know as a defense, when we're playing defense, like, we give them the check down.
Yeah.
Like, they could turn around and throw it to the running back and take a check down 5-yard game every single time because we don't cover it.
Yeah.
It's called a no-cover zone.
Yeah.
But they don't want to do that because they don't want it. They don't want it. None of them want that. They want the deep play. Mm-hmm. And so if you take that away and force them to make the check down, that's a defensive win. But the offense could stand back and do it all day long, but they don't want that. So that's what it's going to come down to.
Along those lines, looking at Tennessee and Heupel's offense and what they do, from a defensive perspective, why is it so difficult to defend?
Because they attack you horizontally before they attack you vertically. So they stretch you out from side to sideline to sideline. So now you got to make a decision. Do I have two guys on their two guys? Do I have one guy, and then one guy at the midpoints, then with a safety over the top versus another safety over the top, which makes us light in the box, and then they got some quarterback run designs. So where do I have to do? It's just a numbers game. And then you're going to have some route combinations that they're going to do a lot of slants. We know that. Mm-hmm. They're going to have some double moves or one-on-ones where you're going to have one-on-one times with your safeties if you're getting man.
Yep.
Because so
Jalen
and then,
Hyatt.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden now you just got – which everybody's like, man, Jalen Hyatt's going to be this, that, and other. I'm like, Jalen Hyatt runs a go route. You got to do more than that in the NFL.
But he had a safety on him in that game with the 5 touchdowns the whole time.
And I'm like, you got to do more than that.
Yeah.
I like Jalen Hyatt, but I don't even know if he's that good.
Right.
He's just running by guys because people don't know how to defend this offense. And so that is when it's going to come down to – and he's fast. Yeah. But Georgia had the formula, which we called it top out. It means you're going to press the guy on the front. I'm going to take the guy on the back, but I'm going to take a little steam off the guy in the front. And so there's different ways to defend certain things. And as more people get more film on Tennessee, Josh Heupel will continue to have to evolve, even though he's been successful everywhere he's been. I'm looking forward to Nico Iamaleava. EMI level.
Slay's got you.
Dude, I've been trying to get better. I just haven't heard it enough yet.
Let's just get, it's like Tua.
Yeah.
We'll just go with
Nico.
Nico.
Yeah.
Nico.
I just go with Nico and just be cool with it.
Yeah.
Everybody knows
I
who you're
think
talking
he's
about.
good with it. Yeah.
And at some point, he's going to have to live up to the dollars that he got paid too. And, like, we got to be real about it. And Tennessee, I like their schedule, kind of sets up for them to be that kind of team that's maybe on the fringe of, 9 to 10 wins. They're on that fringe. And so, but they got to win the right games. Right. But they're tough games. They got Alabama at home. These are the games that you can win if you play it right.
Schedules mean something, man. Roman Harper, SEC Network with us. So Georgia and Texas, over-under win totals in Vegas are 10.5 for both of those teams. Who do you like?
I like both of them. I'll take both of them.
Who wins the SEC?
Oh, I got Georgia. I think Georgia's the best team in the SEC. So I'm taking Georgia until they
got a tough road.
But
there. At Ole Miss, at Bama, at Texas.
Everybody be hitting the panic button if it wasn't Georgia. But it's Georgia, and so they've earned
Valid.
that.
That's fair.
They've earned that. They got the best coach in Kirby Smart, who I think deserves so much credit because whatever he doesn't get out of high school recruiting, he just goes and gets it supplementally out of the transfer portal. And they continue to stack the deck and stack the roster. They lost Jamin Dumas-Johnson, who everybody thought was a hell of a linebacker, at least I do. And all they did was replace him with the young freshman C.J. Allen, who came out and balled last year. And you're like, you know what? You can go. He balled. Yeah. So it's like these things just continue to happen. They continue to churn them out. And this will be a year where I don't know how great Georgia will be defensively, even though we expect them to be good. But offensively, they're going to have the firepower to go out there and get you 35, 40-something points every single game because they got the quarterback, they got the wide receivers, and they're going to have the dominant run game that they're always playing with, the physical type of ball that they like to play.
And the depth. That's the thing. Like, I feel like we add, it's now 16 teams. Your conference schedule is even harder. I mean, is Georgia the deepest team for the deepest run where it's not just, SEC championship in one game? It's now we have playoff and multiple games. Depth is going to matter.
It will matter because injuries are 100% in that football. So that's just part of the game. And, we don't like to talk about it on media day. We don't like to talk about injuries. We just like looking at the roster as it is, right? Even though we know that roster is not going to be the same at the end of the year. Yeah. It's not going to happen. It's
not a video game.
It's not a video game, all right, where the worst injury guys come back in 3 or 4 weeks.
Right.
Like, it just doesn't happen. Yeah. So that's going to occur. But, yes, having depth will help. And I look at Georgia and, look, their only Achilles heel is Alabama. And they play Alabama week 4. It'll be interesting to see. It's early. We don't know what Alabama's going to be completely yet, and I don't think they're going to have to show everything. So that would be advantage Alabama. But it'd be interesting to see because if Alabama wins that game, Alabama fans ain't going to know how to act, boy. They ain't going to know how to act. I promise you that. Yeah. But Georgia should win that game. Georgia should win that game.
Love it. Roman Harper, SEC Network. Thanks for sitting down, man. Always good to see you.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it, man. I can say this here because I'm not on TV, but Roll Tide.
I was about to say War Eagle. I was going to beat you to it.
Go Vols, go Vols, War Eagle, Roll Tide. We're all one big happy family.
That's it, baby.
All right, Roman Harper.
Brady Bunch.
There he is, SEC Network. More 3HL next on 104.5 The Zone.